Hi Gemini, welcome to your fortnightly check-in with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Gemini, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. These are purely tarot, no astrology here. So check out your sun, moon and rising sign so that you know which part of you I, as a reader, resonate more with. With that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, quick note here, the word fortnight means 2 weeks. It means 2 weeks. It's a fortnight is a period of time that represents 2 weeks. So many people ask in the comments, so I thought if I clarify it here, everybody knows. All right, so for this, you have so your cross purposes, you've got the Fool card here. So there's a few ways that this could show up for you. The first one, it is potentially that this week that something or someone new comes into your world that completely disrupts everything. All right. Now, another way that this potential shows up for you as well, that's on the macrocosmic level. This is someone or something that shows up for you that potentially disrupts things, but in a positive way. So, you know, let's say you get promotion, but you have to move, or I don't know, you know, your partner comes and says, look, I'm pregnant. And you're like, okay, we said we were going to give it 2 years. Well, nature decided to move your plans up. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could be something really great, but it could also be something that kind of really disrupts everything. Now, on a personal level, so that's the macrocosmic that we're not really in control of, you know, the cross purposes that get in our way that aren't up to us. On a more personal level, on the microcosmic, where is it that you are potentially getting in your own way? You've got this with the 9 of Wands. So I am going to say this, if you are traveling or you're doing any form of physical exercise, etc. over the course of this next fortnight, which is basically everybody, please look after your physical self, right? Because that 9 of Wands can be slips, trips, bumps, knocks and falls. A touch wood, I hope you're okay. Another way that this potentially shows up as well, because it's the Fool card, a lot of you could be like, no extreme sports this week, no bungee jumping, no abseiling, nothing like that. I'm sorry if you've already got it planned, it's going to be a no from me. Of course, it's totally up to you, and I'm, you know, spelling you safe and all the rest of it, but just with this combination, your physical being needs some TLC, and that Fool card, on a personal level, the Fool card, you know, when it gets really literal, can literally be you doing something foolish. This is not the fortnight for you, my dear Geminis, to decide that you're going to jump over, you know, you're going to jump off the curb into that puddle. You know, or just like something that usually you'd be like, yeah, you know, I could do this, it's fun, and this time it maybe doesn't go according to plan. All right, so just please be careful with yourself. For your actions and interactions with the world at large, you've got the 8 of Pentacles, beautiful. Very focused on work this fortnight with the 4 of Wands. That is great news. There's reasons to celebrate in terms of the work, the job and the career, and this is the Page of Pentacles. So this is about an idea or a project that you have put together, that you've put out into the world. This is either a business idea, maybe it's a course that you want to sell, maybe it is a product, maybe it's a service, maybe it's the starting of your own business finally. This triplet says yes, yes, yes. All right, like you have the go ahead, you've got the green light. This is beautiful. Now, in terms of your actions, provided you work hard at it, this is one of those times, like usually Gemini can pretty much wing anything. This is one of those times where you are going to have to put the work in. You won't be able to wing it, so I advise you not to. Yeah, I'm just going to say that straight up. But other than that, you've got it. This is great. I love this for you. In terms of the career and the communications, you've got the Knight of Wands. Okay. With the 3 of Pentacles. So you're doing something that you're very passionate about, that quite potentially you won't, it's almost like, you know, when you're so passionate about something that you won't hear anything about it. Like, you know, I had this in the early days of my tarot career. I was very hard-headed about, you know, well, I'm not letting that person, I know what I'm doing, da 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 da. There comes a time where you've got to be a bit more flexible than that, because, you know, any information, well, you know this better than anybody, right? Sometimes if you're closed-minded, you miss pieces of information that can actually make you better at what you do. Now, that's just one way that this potentially goes as an overarching energy. But because you've got this star card here as well, you are building something for the future. This is massive and I love it. So for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this is travel that you're doing over this next fortnight, but it has something to do with your schooling. So it's like, even if it's not necessarily something like a trip that you go on with your school, your college, etc., this could be you taking some sort of travel. So as an example, let's say you're studying fine art and you've taken it on yourself to take a trip to Italy, or, you know, somewhere to go and see some of the Renaissance sculptures. It may not necessarily be something you do with school, but it's something that you're doing for school. So it's like you're having a really great time, whatever you're doing or wherever you're going, but it allows you to take on board new knowledge or new insights for things that you can actually use in your academics. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, I love this for building some idea or project out for the future. But it has a lot to do with technology. So this could be you are learning some kind of new software suite. For a lot of you, it does look like something like that. It potentially has a creative element, or for some of you, this probably has something to do with finances. Maybe you're learning a new crypto market. Maybe you're looking at how digital currency actually works and what the future of that is. Like, you're gaining new insight in some way, shape or form around, you know, technology, but it directly correlates to or relates to your work. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, it looks like a lot of you are revamping a website. It looks like a lot of you you're bringing a new creative slant to something, but it's a lot more wordy. It's almost like, yes, you're taking care of the aesthetic, but you're looking at the words as well. Like, you're really paying attention to what's being said. You know, ultimately, it's, you know, it's your business. So what is being said says a lot about you. For your, for those of you that I had a bit of a moment there, obviously. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, I like this just for fun. I like this just for maybe connecting with people from a distance or from foreign cultures, just on the internet for now, right? Building international connections for a select few of you Geminis in general. This could be that you are connecting with somebody who either lives overseas, is going overseas, you know, or is, you know, from a very foreign excuse me, background to you. For your love and relations, you got the Seven of Cups, so we're a little bit confused when it comes to love this fortnight. Then you've got the Death card, okay. Then you've got the Four of Pentacles. For those of you that are single, if you are connecting with someone over this fortnight, it looks like you're trying to figure out whether it's a viable option to you. And it looks like you're really confused about what the connection is between you. So the Seven of Cups does suggest as well that, and as Geminis, we know you love to have options, right? So there's potentially options here. For those of you that are single, it looks like this fortnight you make a solid decision about who it's going to be. I actually like this because it means that there's a moment where you do get clear on it. But at the start of this fortnight, certainly for probably the first week or so, you're going to really be you're going to be more Libran than Geminian, right? Like, it's interesting in that way. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is the release of a debt for some of you. If you and your partner, maybe you've had like crazy crippling, you know, credit card debt or whatever, or maybe you've been working on paying off a loan or whatever the case may be. This fortnight, it's like you finally see the end or the bottom of the barrel, as they say, or the end of the tunnel. Like, there's some part of you that kind of says, wow, you know what, this was a crazy journey, but we've paid it off and we're done with this. It may leave you with a sort of bitter taste in your mouth because it's like, oh God, all of that time and money. But it's a worthy pursuit. For your money and materials, you've got the Ace of Cups, so there's a new beginning in your finances. With the Ace of Wands, love, and the Four of Swords, right? So you're going to be tempted this fortnight to make a big purchase. Please hold off. The reason I say this is because Venus goes retrograde this week. So you could splash the cash on some sort of big ticket item. And you could end up sort of with a case of kind of buyer's remorse. So you're being encouraged, although celebrate with drinks, dinner with friends, right? Rather than going out and buying some massive, like, you know, thing that you might end up not sort of really loving. If you're going to go for dinner and drinks with friends, make it, you know, moderate. Nice, but not too nice. You know, decent, but not too posh. So that you can, because there's a boost to the finances this fortnight, but it's like you're really tempted to just chuck it all into something else. And I'm telling you, you know, I don't want to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but I would have more restraint than that. Okay, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, I actually really like this for rest, recuperation, and holiday. Holiday. Ref is gay. Me and my friend, we always do that to each other, like, and usually when we're at the airport, and everyone just looks at us like, oh dear. For those of you, when it comes to your home and your environment, like, when it comes to your health, you've got a new lease on life. Rest, recuperation, travel even. Love this for you. A lot of energy here as well. I'm feeling really good. When it comes to your home and your environment, for some of you, it looks like you're spending potentially, maybe that's where you're spending the money. If you're doing anything to the house or to the home, I would wait. Unless you were born with a Venus retrograde, in which case it works slightly differently. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic fortnight. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.